The update is live. The update is amazing. Come on back to the game if you haven't played in a while. Come back and try it out because now it saves gear in every single game mode that you do. You come over here to Goblin, this team, it's going to have the artifacts, the runes, and the gear that you used. Bam! You don't have to change anything. If we go over to Grave of Curse, same thing. We save it in there. That way, every time we go back, Vortex Boss. I don't know about you, but I was tired of changing around gear. Now we're going to get more gold. So I'm going to do a run through here. I'm going to show you how to set up your teams to save that gear. Let's see how much gold we're going to get first because gold was a big issue. Gold is a big issue until we see an improvement. So I want to see a really big improvement. Let's check this out. I'm happy. I'm very happy because really, I was getting tired of switching around gear. Sometimes I would just close down the game at the middle of the night instead of going to change gear because I needed to do something. I wanted to do something, but it got to the point to where, you know what? I just don't want to go through and change out so much gear. So I just waited to the next day. Now I'm not going to have to worry about that anymore. I think this is amazing timing and it was the right call for them to do. Very much the right call. Okay, normally on this dungeon, we would get 19,200 gold before this patch. 800 shy of 20,000 gold. Let's see what we get now. I hope it's doubled maybe. Close to double would be nice. What is the increase? 36,000 from 19,200. Okay, I like it. It's a big increase because this is only 10 to run. When we go run those dungeons, it's 15 to run those. Let's jump over there so I can show you what it says when you bring in a new group to a new area that has gear. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're about to see. You've got to go around to every single dungeon now and set it up for the first time. And then after that, you'll no longer have to worry about it. When you come in, look down here underneath your captain ability. This is where you set up your timing. So if I hadn't done Venom already, I would come here and do save Venom. I'm going to take it Venom 2 because we already did this and hit save. Now your team's in here. You can adjust the gear. If the gear is set, because it's not set right now, then you would hit save. I'm not going to hit save. I'm actually going to go over here to this weird icon that I told you that it does. We're going to go to this Venom team. We're going to hit use. And now if you look at this, it's got this weird armor icon. I don't know why it's in here. It should just save the same team with the same gear and not ask me this unless I go in and try to edit my team in the gear they have on. So right now it's saying, do I want to take all the gear that I currently have on and save it as my new team save? And no, you absolutely do not want to do that. You want to hit load up the previous. So really, this doesn't need to be there because I think it's confusing for people. And I think some people are going to come in here and forget and hit save. And right now, if I hit save, it would overwrite. You know, we went and did another dungeon. So it took that gear off in that other dungeon and loaded it onto those people. So right now I'm going to hit load, not save. Load is going to give the equipment that they had on, the equipment that I want on, and now we're set. We're also set with our timing because we have different timings for all these different dungeons. Here's what I've got on this one. Now let's hit go and see what we get for gold at the end of this battle. Shouldn't take too long. So a little confusing there at that point. I don't know why that armor pops up. I mean, I get it. We don't have the same exact gear on. Do I want to save the current gear that we have on or load up the old previous gear? Obviously, I want to load the old previous gear, right? I set it up that way. And if I did want to go in, are we going to die here? No. And if I did want to go in and change that gear, then when I go in to do that, you could give me that option. Give me that option to say, hey, you've made some changes. Do you now want to save it? Instead of doing this every time I come into a new area, showing, yeah, I think we're gonna die here. Showing, all we got to do is one more rotation. Oh, we got it. Instead of showing me that option, because sometimes I think I'm gonna forget and I'm gonna hit that right option and it's gonna load the gear that I don't want. And then I'm gonna have to go back and redo the team. And I don't want to have to do that. But other than that, this is amazing. Before we got 36,000 gold for doing this run, 74,400. Okay, that's good. That's really good. What, double? Double gold, pretty much. A little bit more than double gold. This is a good step in the right direction. Do I know if it's going to be enough gold? I have no idea. We're going to have to play this for a while. I did save up some stamina. This is double the gold, a little bit more. It's going to help, but every time I sell, I don't know how many pieces it was, 30 pieces of gear, 40, 50 pieces of gear. I can only level up one piece of gear. So it's a real issue. Now, if we're getting gold from other areas that are more, I think we need that because anytime you see that you win gold from doing any of the events, it's small. 30,000. Any gold that you see that we get in the battle pass, it's really, really low. I mean, we're talking you 30,000. What is that? You're giving me 30,000 over here in the battle pass. I believe it was something pretty low, right? 100,000, 300,000. I mean, I can't even level up a gear, even with this total. With the paid battle pass version and the free battle pass version, 400,000. I can't level. I need 552,000 to level up one piece of gear, and that's all you're giving me at these increments. It's not enough. By far, not enough. So I hope they do go and reevaluate all the events that we have and look at these and say, okay, this little bit of gold that no gold here that they're giving us is not enough. We need more. We've got to have more. Even in this, 600,000 if you get the highest rank. I don't feel like that's enough gold for a week long. I do something for a whole entire week. I push myself so I get the highest rank, and then you give me enough gold to level up one piece of gear again. I just don't feel like it's enough gold to level up heroes and level up gear, but we'll see. Let me test it out. I'm very happy. Let me just say that I'm very happy that they've done this. I'm very happy that we now have these saved geared sets in 15 slots, was it? To be able to play around with? Yeah, 15. So now I'm going to go over and play with my Vortex team. I haven't set it up yet. I know when I go there, I'm going to have to go over to the Vortex. I'm going to have to go to each individual hero, set up the gear, and then come in here, go over to Vortex. I'll make a new one. I'll just delete this one. I'll come and save my team, set up their gear, and then I'll go in here and hit save. Right here. I'll hit save to this, and then now every time I go over to Vortex, I just go in there. My team's ready to go. Every time I come in here, my team is ready to go. Just be careful because that one little box could throw you off. That little armor that pops up. Because now when we go back over to Goblin, the gear's changed. We moved a lot of different gear over to this team. Now when I go back over to Goblin to fight that, it's not going to be the same saved gear on that current team, but I don't really know why it's asking me. You see what I'm saying? Like, why are you asking me anything? I have the same team. I've got it set up. Don't ask me this question. Only ask me this question if I come in here and I adjust some gear, maybe somehow, but you can't change gear at this option. Don't ask me this until I change gear on my hero. Like, why doesn't it just load up everything that I ran in here before? Just load it because I came here. Load it all, and then if I go in here and change any piece of gear, then have this pop up and say, hey, do you want to save the new gear that you've just put on, or do you want to keep the previous gear that you had loaded? I don't see. I'm gonna hit load. I'm gonna hit load so it loads up all my gear. Anyways, as long as we know, I think we'll be okay. I just know there's gonna be a time that eventually I'm gonna come in here, see that pop up, hit it, hit the right one, and go, what gear did I have? Now I got to go back, reapply the gear, but it's still great. Still great. Can't complain. It's a great update. Let me know if you've seen any other improvements so far. Appreciate you guys for watching. Thanks so much for the love and support. Let me know your thoughts on all this down below with the new gold, this new settings,